Hey, all you Splinterheads. Welcome back. Thanks for stopping by. Bronze Dragon here, bringing you an analysis. This afternoon, my brother pinged me at work saying, hey, we have a new proposal up. You need to check it out, see what you think. So I jumped on mobile and, I was reading through it and I'm like, well, I'm just going to wait until I get home and, read through it. Initially, I liked the idea, but then whenever I pulled up the page, as soon as I logged into Splinterlands, I was like, wow, there's a lot of people that feel very strongly about this. So I took the time to read through it again, and I still didn't see what everybody, is, voting against. So with that said, let's go through it and take a few minutes and walk through it. And if I'm missing something, because I'm not the biggest, financial guru, but the way he lays it out seems well thought out, and it seems like a way that would bring both a percentage back into the DAO as far as earned, as well as a percentage that's going to be used to actually burn DEC, which theoretically would help DEC out. So I don't really see what the problem is, but let's walk through it. And then please, if you voted against this, go ahead and in the comments, just, be concise and state your viewpoint, why you voted against it. Let's keep this all civil. I mean, it's just a financial discussion, and let's see where where everybody stands. But I'd like to get your comments to see maybe what I'm missing. So let's check it out. It's titled "The DAO Deposits Stablecoin to HBD Savings," which stands for Hive-Backed Dollar, using interest to buy and burn DEC daily. So if you click on the link, you come over here to the Peak D article. Okay, so this proposal is a response to the previous failed proposal by Bulldog that suggested the DAO spend $500K to acquire DEC. I voted against that. I didn't think it was a good idea. It's not that I have anything against DEC. It's just I think that the backed dollar coins are better for holding in the DAO, but that's besides the matter. This proposal says, one, convert the DAO stablecoins equivalently $250K US dollars to HBD. Now that's half of what Bulldog had originally proposed. Deposit 246K HBD into savings. Currently, HBD offers a 20% annual percentage rate. We all know that can go up or down, but either way, the investment would be making something, hopefully. With these type of investments, there's always that possibility that things go down, but the high back dollar, it's pegged at $1, so it stays within a few cents, right? So theoretically, that's the objective of backed dollar coins, right? So earn interest on the deposited HBD, divide the earned HBD interest by the number of days in the month, divide this then by 2. So we're talking roughly 14 or 15 days is half a month, right? Depending upon the month. Use half the calculated amount to purchase and burn DEC from the market each day. Use half the calculated amount to purchase and acquire DEC for the DAO Treasury. So we got half going into the DAO Treasury and we got half being burnt, which theoretically would help the value of DEC, right? Use 4,000 or 4K US dollars HBD to immediately commence the daily burn and buy and burn over a 30-day period until subsequent interest is received for the following month. This would be 133 HBD or thereabouts per day. So they want the 4,000 up front is to get it kicked off, and then the rest, just goes on a daily basis. And I'm not going to read all through this. I'll leave the link in the show notes if you haven't read through this, so you can come back and look at it. But he does sum it up by saying the benefits are the consistent removal of DEC from supply by burning, earning returns on stable HBD balances through the Hive blockchain with APR when DEC is at peg. The DAO retains 246K US dollars in HBD deposits, growing the DAO reserves in HBD with the other half of whatever it makes on a daily basis, right? Obviously, there's some downsides and risks, and he states them as well. This is not the easiest thing to understand, especially for people who are not really into crypto and not really into finance, which I'm neither one of those. I kind of straddle the middle there. I don't advise people on financial matters. It's just the whole idea sounds sound to me. So potential future decrease in the HBD up APR below 20%. This is true. Like I just said, APRs fluctuate. Hopefully it would draw a decent amount, but nothing is ever promised. But these proposals, they're not set in stone. Once you put them in action, I mean, somebody else could, a year or two down the road, we could say, hey, this isn't making money anymore. This isn't making sense. Put another proposal into action and vote it in and change the way that the DAO is handled. So I'm not saying, it's not locked in, right? So funds locked down for 3 days, making them inaccessible in case of emergency capital needed by the DAO. Hopefully the DAO wouldn't need emergency capital. And one of the other things is that he didn't declare using all 500K. Obviously, one of the points is to have your investments spread around a little bit more. But part of that could also be maybe the whole idea of not putting all your eggs in one basket, which we all know is a good thing, right? Another thing that could be a downside is the lower liquidity of HBD compared to other stable coins. Decreased future demand of DEC, resulting in HBD interest being used to purchase and burn a constantly declining asset. But once again, these aren't set in stone. These are all the team, when they came up with this whole idea of the DAO, whoever did, and they put it into process to be kind of separate from the company of Splinterlands and the way the game is run and everything. It was a good move and it was smart. Because, the vote is there so that these things can be changed in the future. Once again, if it looks like hey, we shouldn't have done that last year. Let's, change what we voted in. Hindsight's always 20/20. That can be done, right? And as he mentions, and I wanted to bring this up, is probably one of the biggest downsides of this is being very labor intensive. Unless somebody wrote a bot that would go in and do the buying and burning on a daily basis, this would be a task for anybody, right? And I'm sure that with the small team they have, nobody wants to take on another daily task like that. So somebody would have to make a bot, and it would have to have the approved formulas in it, and it would have to function, and it would have to go, and prove that it's going to do what it does, so it doesn't take a person to actually do that. Because one of the other points somebody brought up in a video a couple days ago, it was on the town hall. We didn't have a town hall this week. It's the town, whatever they're calling it, the mini version of the town hall. Somebody had said, how are we going to do something like that? You have to have a person that's entrusted to do that. And there isn't really one person to do that right now. So that would have to be, obviously a very trusted person. They would be working with the DAO accounts, et cetera, like that. So there'd be a lot of trust involved. The other thing that, as we all know, if you've worked with cryptocurrency, the purchasing of this much crypto, especially on a very, I don't want to say small, but a smaller blockchain, you could really, I don't want to say wreck the blockchain, but you could really push that price of HBD or DEC or whatever you're working with. You could really affect that price if you buy too much at one time, or there might just not be enough to buy at one time. So I'm just throwing this stuff out there. So, and then he puts in to round it out, assessing success. Well, one of the main items is when DEC gets back to peg and stays at peg, right? Maintaining DEC stability over several months. It would have to get back to peg. It would have to stay stable for several months. And then seeing a material consistent increase in the DAO's DEC balance, activation of the SPS flywheel. I hate that term because I don't think there's ever going to be a flywheel that comes in. I'm not throwing shade, right? I just don't think it's ever going to get kicked in, because I think that this is always going to be a give and take, right? It's always going to be a situation where we have to make maneuvers to, force one way. I think that once DEC gets to peg or over peg, and then people have to start burning SPS, that's the best situation, right? That's what they're referring to. Yeah, maybe I'll be wrong. Maybe it'll get there and it'll take off from there. I've been looking more at land. I don't really comment much on the finance side of things, but this really surprised me because I had read through it on my phone and I was like, hey, yeah, I could vote for this. In fact, I did vote for it, right? So I'll leave you with this. In the comments below, if you voted no, let me know why. And, going forward this Saturday on my usual live event on YouTube from 11:30 to 12:30 Eastern time, we can discuss it. If you want to come on and throw some points at me, the more the merrier. Anyway, this has been Bronze Dragon. If you like this kind of content and you want me to keep doing it, please give me a thumbs up and think about subscribing. If you haven't subscribed, why not? Anyway, I hope everyone on your side is happy and healthy, and I will see you on the flip side.